Welcome to Ressa's Take. I'm so glad you're here. Each week, we will tackle some common challenges that we all often experience in life, and I'll share my take on the topic, along with some of my learnings from my own experiences. This is all about navigating life together and unlocking our best selves, one conversation at a time. Hi, everybody. This is Ressa. Welcome to Ressa's Take. I hope that you had a wonderful holiday and a really happy new year. If your 2024 was anything like mine, it was probably filled with a lot of ups and downs, a lot of really good moments, some stressful ones, and probably was really busy. And I don't know if 2025 is going to be any different, but we are going to be optimistic. Okay. So I hope that your year is starting off on the right foot and that you were able to get some rest, able to relax, able to just give yourself some you time over the holidays before you get back into all of the hustle and bustle and busyness of what will be 2025. So, hope you had a great new year. For today's episode, I want to talk about the pressure that we often get to keep up appearances. And though in my head, I feel like women deal with the pressure the most, I know that this impacts everyone. It is honestly really wild living in the social media era. We have a lens into everyone's lives that we just didn't have when I was growing up. Pressure to fit in still existed in the 90s, and feeling like you always needed to have clothes that were trendy or in style, like that was still a thing. Fat shaming was still a thing, but I just feel like it's on steroids now that social media is involved. And when I was growing up, like you saw kids in school, and maybe if you hung out with them after or you randomly ran into them while you were outside, but your interactions were usually really limited to when you were physically in front of them, when you could physically witness their life happening right before you. But over the last like 15 years, social media has just blown up, and it's given us a whole new lens into people's lives. The difference is you get to see what they want you to see. It's made it so difficult to know what's real and what's actually manufactured. Like everyone's life looks great online. I mean, you do get the random people that film themselves crying, which I will never understand. And it takes every fiber of my being to not judge them. But it's like you set up a whole tripod. You tried different angles of you crying. You edited it. You added text to the video and music, and then you posted that. Like, see, I'm judging. I shouldn't be judging. It's just crazy times that we're living in. Now, I know that the situation of someone recording themselves crying is not the norm, thank God. But what I'm talking about is that, like, generally people will show you accomplishments, their happy moments, their celebrations. They pick one photo out of the 50 pictures they probably took and hated and posted the one that they semi liked, and maybe even take it a step further and actually edit that photo before they post it. Adding filters, using apps to cinch their waist, smooth their skin, unbig their back, whatever. But they do all of that to present themselves as their absolute best. And I'm not judging here. Like, I'm guilty of this too. I damn sure use Instagram filters. It's to the point where I prefer pictures of me with a filter over just a regular untouched photo. And one time, confession, y'all, I used an app. I am actually saying this out loud. I used an app to blur out the cellulite that you could see on my butt through my dress before I posted a picture. Yes, I said that out loud. It's sad. I know. I ended up actually feeling guilty about altering the photo, and I got mad at myself that I felt the need to even do that, and I ended up just archiving it on my Instagram. But I know I'm not alone in that. Like, there's so much pressure to keep up appearances, to look good, dress good, have it all together. And I'm not sitting here blaming this on social media, but we have to acknowledge the massive role that social media plays in just perpetuating the problem. It feels like you can't have an off day. Like, you have to try, and you can't just be. You can't just post a picture. It has to be at the right angle with the right lighting. And your pictures look like a photographer just follows you around all day. And let me also say, I recognize that This topic may not resonate with everybody. And if it doesn't resonate, you can sign off. It's cool. I know that there are many that don't feel pressure from social media or anything or anyone to look or appear a certain way. And honestly, that's wonderful and that's rare. And I love that for you. And this episode may not be for you, but I know that there are many of you out there that feel what I'm saying. And let me also say, this episode is not about bashing anyone that does the things that I'm talking about. If you use apps to retouch your photos, can't post a pic without a filter, care about your Instagram page aesthetic or whatever, like, I'm not judging you, honey. I am you. Okay. Like, so many of us deal with this. I just want to have an honest dialogue about this topic because it's real. And I'll speak for myself on this, but I think it's a problem that I am contributing to or taking part in, but a problem nonetheless. In 2021, a survey from Consumer Reports found that 1 in 5 American adults applied a beauty filter before posting a photo. Are filters bad? No. I mean, I don't personally think so. But if you're like me and you feel like you prefer yourself with a filter versus the real picture, that's when I think it's a problem. And it's not just physical appearance pressure that social media really exacerbates for everyone. There's also pressure around your lifestyle. Frequent vacations, designer clothing, luxury car, big house. If you've got it, it feels like it's necessary to show it off. And let me just pause for a moment. Can we talk about people that are always on vacation? I know I'm not the only one that silently just thinks to myself, like, what do these people do for a living? How can they afford all of these extravagant trips? And like, how much PTO do they really have? Like, what company do you work for? Like, hook me up. It's crazy. It'll have me questioning literally my whole career. Like, I have a good job, I make good money, and I am able to take nice trips, but that many trips in 1 year? I don't know. I know I can't be the only one that just scratches my head because I'm not talking about celebrities. I'm talking about regular people just like me. And I'm not hating, okay? Like, I love that for them. Love it for them. I am just genuinely confused because I just want to know the secret. So, spill the tea because I need to work where you work and have that PTO, or I need to know how you invest and save. Like, help me out. Okay, I went on a bit of a tangent there, but you see how social media will have you questioning your whole financial choices and lifestyle. All that said, though, I'm guilty of trying to make it look good too. Like, if I'm on vacation, please believe that I am taking photos that I feel are Instagram worthy and I am carefully curating them into a post with a sassy little caption. And yes, I am guilty of taking a cute little photo of brunch and then retaking it so that the Louis bag makes an appearance. Like, don't judge me. I know y'all do it too. Maybe not all of y'all, but I know there are others out there that do it too. And I'm keeping it real. So don't judge. But why are we like this? It's like I don't see myself as a superficial person, but then I do superficial things like this. Like, things don't matter to me. I like nice things. I don't live beyond my means. But at the same time, it's like, so then why do I do this? And if we're honest, it's performative. We do it for others. You may not want to admit that to yourself, but be real with yourself. You're not touching up your photos or carefully curating your page for yourself. You're presenting yourself how you want others to see you. The pictures you post, the parts of your life that you choose to show, the angles you make sure to hit, it's for how you want others to perceive you. Now, is it inherently bad that we want to show the best aspects of our life? No, like, I don't think it is, at least. Who wants to showcase anything that isn't positive or something that they're not proud of? The problem, in my opinion, comes when we try to portray something that we aren't because we believe that's what other people want to see, or we believe that is what will make other people accept us. The moment that you start altering your appearance for the admiration or the acceptance of others, whether it's in real life or just online, or even worse, if you're full blown catfishing as someone else, that's when it becomes problematic because it means that inherently just you as you are is not enough to you. And there is never a case where that will be true. According to a Forbes article that I recently read, in 2023, there is an estimated 4.9 billion people that use social media across the world. Yes, I said billion with a B. The average person spends around 145 minutes daily on a social media platform, and 39% of US online social media users actually admit to feeling addicted to it. Now, to take that warped perception of reality that we all see of each other's lives on social media and then compile that with the average person spending a little over 2 hours a day scrolling through, and then compile that with the addictive impulse to continue to scroll through. It's problematic, y'all. It's honestly sad. But just as social media can have negative impacts, it can actually have positive impacts too. We often will talk about how social media negatively impacts body image, making us feel like we need to look a certain way or be a certain body weight or whatever. But a 2022 study on the effects of body positive Instagram posts had found that adult women that were exposed to body positive content on social media actually experienced an overall increase in their own body appreciation and satisfaction. And when I reflect on that data point, to me, it's a clear example of why it's important to not give into the pressure and just be real. And I will try to practice this myself. And I will say, like, the last several photos on my personal Instagram page over the last year, actually, a lot of them, when I think about it, have not had any beauty filters. It's more on my Instagram stories that I struggle. Like, when it's a little live, that's when I tend to have the problem. But, I'm a work in progress. And then the ones on Ressa's Take Instagram, like, they never have filters on them. But I am making progress. But I have definitely not arrived yet. I just think it's really important, especially for women my age that are in their 30s, to set a really good example. Like, no, we may not be celebrities, but you never know who might look up to you or who could be influenced by you. And though I don't personally have any kids yet, I would imagine that this is really important for parents. I know that growing up, I was always really mindful and really aware of what the adults around me didn't like about themselves. Kids and young people are really impressionable. It's just a part of the growing up experience. They're still finding their way, they're still figuring life out. So I think it's important for us to be a part of that positive side of the social media experience. Now, hopefully, this didn't feel like a social media bashing episode because it's not. I actually really love, I'm going to sound like a true millennial. Like, I say social media, but I only have an Instagram page. Like, I don't have time for all that other stuff. But nonetheless, I actually really enjoy it. I live, several states away from my family and my best friends. And I like how being able to go on Instagram allows me to still be connected with them, still be able to be a part of their day to day lives, even though we're like 900 miles apart. And just like anything else, things are what we make them. Social media can be bad if we let it. My encouragement to you and to myself, honestly, is don't let yourself be discouraged by someone's highlight reel of their life on their Instagram or on their TikTok page or whatever social media platform you use. Just remember that you, just as you are enough. Are you perfect? No, but nobody's perfect. Don't lose yourself while you're trying to emulate someone else. Okay, you know the drill. Before we wrap up, let's talk through some recipes for navigating self image in a social media addicted world. For starters, if you feel like you need to alter your appearance online, it's really important for you to reflect on why you feel that way. And this isn't a judgmental statement. If you really do feel like doing that makes you feel better, and it's not at all in any way about anyone else or their perceptions of you or their acceptance of you, then I'll leave that to you. But I really believe that for most people, it's about adjusting to what they want to be perceived as from others. If you feel like you need to alter yourself for others, what do you think is driving that? What makes you feel like you, just as you are, isn't enough? And whenever you figure out the answer to that, ask yourself why that matters so much. I know for me, I use filters because I have insecurities about my facial features, and I do have a desire to be accepted by others physically. Like, in general, I want to be seen as pretty. Who doesn't, right? You want to be seen as attractive. So for me, that's my thing. I know that it's about other people. Is this something I need to work on? For sure, but I'm aware. All right, number 2. Another important thing is to be mindful of the people and the content that you follow online. When you scroll online, is the content that you're seeing from those you follow building you up, or is it leaving you feeling really down on yourself? Just like many of us likely learned in a computer science class, garbage in, garbage out. If you're consuming things that are spoiling your own self image, your self worth, your expectations of yourself, and your expectations of others, you're going to start to have a warped view of reality, and you're likely going to become more self critical and more critical of other people. So just protect your peace. And number 3, lastly, document your life if you want to. There's nothing wrong with that, but just don't forget to actually live. There's nothing wrong with having social media, posting your brunch photos, creating a reel, a TikTok of your vacation experience or whatever. Like, do you, boo? But just don't let it consume you. If your photo only gets a few likes, try not to delete it and post it again later. Like, think about why you care so much. Just try to focus more on actually living than focusing on others' perceptions of your life. Okay, y'all, that's all I have for today. Thank you for listening. I hope this topic resonated with you. I really would love to hear your thoughts, so DM me on Instagram at Russ's Take. I look forward to chatting with you all again next time. I hope you have a great weekend. God bless. And that's a wrap. Another candid chat among friends. If today's episode resonated with you, hit that follow button, share the episode with your friends, and leave a review. I would love to hear what resonated most and love to hear any of the thoughts that you have on the episode. Hope to see you soon, and don't forget to drop your questions or insights on our Instagram at Russ's Take.